Donna here with Sparkle and Sprinkle, and for the March Video Kit Club, we are going to be using this adorable stamp set. Beautiful. I love the solid silhouette of the elephant with the beautiful Paisley design in it, and this is brought to you by Boogaboo. They do an incredible job with the stamp sets and the sayings, and our card that we're going to be making is right here. Isn't that gorgeous? So you are going to be receiving in this month's kit the brand new Diamond Hybrid ink pads, and this is Sunset Serenade. And there are 3 other ink pad sets that will be available at sparkleandsprinkle.net. We're also using golden scales, which you'll be receiving in your kit, which is one of the beautiful specialty paper, and crystal drops. And I'm going to be showing you a really cool new technique how to create these jewel crystal drops with that beautiful color. And we are going to be doing a ton of fun stuff. So I hope you enjoy this. Comment below if you have any questions, write them down, or feel free to contact us. And I hope you enjoy this month's Video Kit Club. Bye-bye. All right, to get started on our March Video Kit Club with our awesome stamp set, Amazing You Paisley Elephant stamp set, I am going to be taking my elephant and Amazing You. If you decide to do a different saying, that's fine. You can go ahead and pick whatever you'd like. And I am going to be using my stamp platform. Now, I find my stamp platform at this point to be like having a heat tool. So if you don't have a stamp platform, you can absolutely get one. This is an awesome one by Tonic Studios. It's Tim Holtz's design, and it's got the rubber and the clear. If you don't have one and you want to still do this kit, you can still stamp and use a regular acrylic block, but I'm going to show you a couple tricks using my stamp platform. So I've already placed my elephant and my Amazing You saying down, and it's just a half sheet of paper that I'm using, a half sheet of cardstock. And in order for me to get everything in the video, I'm going to take off the top of my stamp platform and just show you the inking that I'm doing. And we're going to be cutting both of these out. So it's not really too imperative that they're completely straight. We're going to be trimming them up for our final card. So as if like you're in your office and this is, you can turn this around and face you and then turn around and stamp. So it's nice that this is removable because you can work with it. So I'm going to be you're going to be receiving the brand new diamond ink pads, and I'm using this trio, which is the Sunset Serenade. There are 3 other sets which are beautiful, and here they are, and I will go ahead and link them in this video as well in case you're interested. Really beautiful color choices, and this was just perfect for this beautiful Indian set. So we are going to get started. We're going to do lighter color first. So I'm going to do Carrot Stick, and I'm going to go ahead and pop that off, and I am just going to ink over the top of my elephant. And I'm going to actually be overlapping the inks, so you don't really have to be too particular on where they go. And then I'm going to ink up my saying as well. Then I'm going to use the Rich Rosewood, and I'm going to overlap over that orange that I just did. And I'm just going to hit the edges of my stamp saying down here. And then I'm going to go ahead with my Royal Plum and finish off. And because I'm using my stamp platform, if I miss a little part, I can go ahead and re-ink it and stamp it again. Or if I want to further blend something, I can stamp it again, which is nice. So I'm going to stick that on the top, and I'm using the rubber side. And then I'm going to go ahead and press down. You press down right here. I'm just going to give it a little extra love because it's a nice solid image. And then lift that up. Now, like I said, I'm going to stamp it more than once. So that's just a quick ink. and it's not as solid as my sample that I showed you in the beginning of the video. So you see that? It's got a couple little white holes in it where I would like it to be a crisper stamp image. My Amazing You turned out great, but if I wanted to darken it a little bit, I can do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna re-ink again. So I'm gonna take some more orange over my Seine just to darken it up. I'm gonna go over the top of my elephant again. Beautiful color. I'm a huge orange fan, so Carrot Stick is beautiful. Little rich rosewood. And I'm applying a good amount of pressure because I want a lot of ink on my image. And Royal Plum. So if you do not have a stamp platform, you obviously can't do this second hit over your paper because trying to line those up would be, unless you have like a stamp liner upper. Ha! All right, so I'm going to push that down again, lift that up, and that is nice and dark. If you want to go over it a third time and really darken it up, you can, but I am just going to, you know what? I'm going to just add a little bit more orange. The joy of the platform. This is really what makes this tool so amazing, is if you want to keep going, you can. I just really wanted that rich rosewood spot to be hit one more time. Roll. All right, I'm gonna take this guy off, and then our next, and the nice thing too, instead of closing that, I can just go and set it away right now, and I'm not getting ink on the base of this. So that's another trick you are gonna want to keep in mind when using your platform. Okay. I am now going to take, we're gonna do all of our inking first. So I'm now gonna take my Golden Scales specialty paper, and there's two different color versions of this. I'm gonna be using the golder version versus the bronzer version to pop more. And I am going to be taking my Royal Plum, and I am just gonna go over it, just like this, to create that shading so you can really see the Royal Plum and the gold in the background. And it is going to be in the background of my card base, which is about 10 of these scales across and 3 up. So as long as you hit a section that big, that's plenty. And then you're gonna want a little extra for your little flourishes that you're gonna be making. So I'm gonna do my Royal Plum, and then I'm gonna do some rich rosewood. And if you want to stick a blending tool into your inks instead of using the ink pad like I'm doing, and you have some fancy tools, by all means, feel free to do that, or a makeup sponge, whatever works best for you. I'm just using the tools that I have available in the kit. So if you do not have anything like that, here's what you do. And then I'm gonna go over it with my Carrot Stick. So now you see those 3 beautiful hybrid ink colors on my scale background, which is really nice. And then I'm gonna let this dry as well before fussy cutting it. So set that aside. The next step, we are gonna be working on our card base. So like I said, if you have some really nice blending tools, which I know there's a lot out there, feel free to use them. I am going to be using this, the very first blending tool, Le Paper Towel, and I just cut those little 3-in-1 sheet paper towels up, and I am going to be using this as my tool. I'm going old school here, people, so look out. All right, I'm gonna pop off the top of my rich rosewood, and I am just gonna dab my fancy blending tool. And you could do 2 things. You can put a coffee filter underneath, or I've got a craft mat on my table, so that's gonna help. And I'm just gonna go over my corners. You're only gonna be seeing 1/4 of an inch of this, so I am using just one of my simple techniques that I like to do when I am going and distressing my edges. so you don't have to worry about the inside. You're just really getting that beautiful color on the edges of your cardstock, of your card base. And you could do the front and the back if you want. I'm just gonna do the front for this. But if you want to do like full coverage of the back to make the whole card base the same color, and then just kind of finish up, you can. But like I said, we are only gonna be seeing 1/4 inch. So that is perfect. Now my base is done, and I have this beautiful color that is going to coordinate with the rest of my card. So now I'm gonna set that aside to let that dry, which it dries pretty fast. It is dye ink. It's a really beautiful, rich color ink. I'm gonna take another beautiful, fancy, high-tech blending tool, Le Paper Towel, and I'm gonna take my little piece of cardstock here. This is white cardstock, and this is 3.5 by 4. I know you guys like to tell you all the dimensions. So this is 3.5 by 4. I'm gonna wad up my fancy blending tool, take my carrot stick, helps if you have fingers, and I'm gonna pounce. I'm gonna do a little just around the edges. And I always twist so it's not the same pattern around the whole thing. So like I will pounce, dip, and then make sure I hit it at a different direction. And now I'm gonna do that same distressing my edges as I did with our card base, and I'm just gonna go at an angle like this. And just finish up all corners. Pretty simple technique. I know we can always overcomplicate things, but I wanted to go back to the basics for you guys and just show you a really simple distressing technique. So that is going to be the background of where our beautiful, beautiful elephant is going to be sitting after we cut that out. So now that that is complete, I'm going to set this aside as well. And that pretty much completes all of the inking. Oh, no, we're gonna do one more thing, but that's after we do a little cutting. So we're gonna set this aside, and now we are going to be working with our background and our gilding flakes. All right, so you're gonna take your fancy blending tool, and I lied, we're gonna do a little bit more inking. We are going to take our beautiful carrot stick to give that nice shading, aged look to our teal paper. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that same thing, just kind of go in, and you're just, again, going to see a little bit of this, and we're also going to be covering it with gilding flakes. So you don't have to be super particular about your shading and blending. Just tap into your ink. You can use one of your fancy tools if you'd like, or a brush, whatever you desire. And I actually do want some of my darker splotches to be shown. It really adds some nice volume and dimension. I sound like a hairstylist. Whatever works. All right. Once I have done that, so this piece here is a 4" by 5 1/4 inch, and that is going to be layered onto your card base. So as you can see, you're just seeing a little bit of your card base that you went ahead and did that distressed look. Now you've got, this is your next layer. This is going to be under your seine, and this is a 1" by 3" piece of cardstock. And I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing. Just go ahead and go around my edges and, you know, totally crinkle up my paper, which is fine because we are gonna flatten that boy down. And there we go, done and done. Now the other item, I went ahead and cut this out, and I cut this down to a 3/4 inch to 3 1/4. And I'm gonna give it a little banner finish, and that is just by quickly taking my scissors, cutting down the middle, and then having my ends meet the center. And I'm going to do that on both sides. Again, there are fancy little punches you can get for this, but that is a quick and easy way to create that banner look. And then I am going to go back to my Royal Plum and pop this open. There we go. I'm going to dip my fancy blending tool in it, and I'm just going to hit up all of my edges. And now you've used all three of your colors in this ink trio to create different background looks and colors, and they blend really nicely together, and they look really nice together on your project. And I'm just going to go over the top and the back, top and bottom, and now I have my banner. I'm going to take my lids and put them on, which is very rare for me. And I am going to take my pencil and I'm just going to give it just a little bit of dimension so it's not this perfect looking banner. You can even roll it like this over your paper, and this just softens up your paper and gives it a little bit more flexibility. I'm sure there are amazing tools out there for that, but now I've got this more worked looking banner. Okay, next I'm going to show you how to make the beautiful little flourish. So we already inked up our golden scales with our ink, and then I went ahead and cut them out. So I went ahead and cut out the strip with the Royal Plum and a strip with the carrot stick. So I pre-cut those, and like I said, it's about 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 scales across and 3 up. So when you layer them on your paper, it goes all the way across, and it makes for a really cool border. So go ahead and cut these guys out. You're going to want to go ahead and fussy cut your beautiful elephant out. And once you've completed that, we're going to come back here and work on these guys. And I'm going to show you a really fun trick using your clear Nuvo drops and your Gilding flakes again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a glue pen. You do not have one in your kit, but you can use the medium or the large glue pen to get some adhesive. So I'm actually going to take my large one, and I am simply going to just put a little pile of adhesive, and I am going to take another one of my fancy tools here, and I am just going to dip into that, and I am going to go over my edges. And I don't want to completely cover it up. I just want it to have a little bit of that beautiful gold gilding flake around my edge. So now that I've done that, it dries really, really quick, so you don't have to worry about waiting for a while for it to dry. I'm going to do a little bit more for my background of my border here. It's such a beautiful finish and combination with all of these colors. If you want to make sure you got enough going on there, you can do that. And then my quick cleanup. Look at your blending brush also acts as a cleanup tool. Like, who could ask for anything more? Okay, so I'm going to take my coffee filter, or if you already have your Gilding flakes and you have them in a giant tub like I do, you can just dip that in and brush them off. But I'm going to show you using the sample pieces that you get. So you can just simply take those. You can hold them in a little pile. Grab your fingers, which mine currently have adhesive on them, which is great. So you're going to be receiving enough to create your 5 cards. But if you love them and you've never tried them, you get a nice big tub of it, which is going to be fantastic because you can use it on all sorts of projects, including adding a little decor to your fingernails. So I am going to finish by rubbing that all around, making a nice, beautiful, sparkly mess, but a good one. I'm just scraping off the excess into my big Tupperware bin that I showed you. And now you are left with that. I'm going to take my stiff brush after I finish this guy and just wipe off the remaining. There we go. Like that. Remove this guy. I still need a few pieces of that for later, so we'll set those there. Okay, and now we will ignore my beautiful gilded flake fingers. Take a coffee filter, a stiff brush, and I'm just gonna go in and work it, make sure that it's completely adhered down. So I just do a circular motion with a stiff brush. This is a brush trio. You can also use the dual-headed blending brush, and then that is complete. I'm going to do the same thing with this. Sometimes it just sticks to the paper and not the adhesive, so you want to make sure you do this final touch to make sure that any pieces that are just sitting there and not adhered come off. Okay, for our final technique of this video, I am going to show you how to create a really cool and unique crystal drop. And I was playing with these, I want to say over a year ago, this technique. And you can do this directly on your craft mat, or what I've done is taken the backing of my Terrific tape and I'm using that to create this. So I'm taking a couple pieces of my gold gilding flakes, and I've tried this with the silver, the gold, and the bronze, and I like the effects with the gold. So I'm then going to take my clear crystal drops, and this has so many uses, and you get one in your kit, and I'm going to go ahead and just add a couple drops to right on top of my gilding flakes. Now the difference between doing this on my back of my Terrific tape versus my mat is it tends to stay better when it's drying, where on the mat it lifts up a little bit, it peels. So you want to definitely let this sit overnight to get the effect. And I went ahead and made some already so you guys can see how beautiful it is when it picks up, when it kind of reacts with the gold, and you get this beautiful jewel color. It's just gorgeous. And then you have these beautiful drops. So if after this sits overnight, it's gonna turn into these. So now you've got the beautiful added embellishment that we are gonna do to make our little flourishes. So you're gonna wanna go ahead, I will make you guys not stare at my messy craft mat. Okay, to create your little flourishes, you're going to want to go ahead and cut out 9, because you're going to be creating 3 flourishes, 9 of your golden scales. So here is what these 3 look like. And now I'm going to take my glue pen and I'm going to take my copper jewel. Now the glue pen is not included in the kit. Instead you got the copper jewel. So I'm going to go ahead and trace just the inside of all 9. So I have 3 cut out here, but you want to do this with all 9 of them. And then go ahead and add my copper jewel. So just adding a little sparkly element inside of your flourishes. And go ahead and tap that off. and then you've got this beautiful little added bit of glitter. And now once you've done that with all of your petals, you can go ahead and adhere them together by using your glue pen. You can use your Quicky Glue Pen, or you can use your Nuvo glue pen, or you can even use your Terrific tape. And then you are going to stick your beautiful jewels inside the center. And to adhere these, once again, you can use your glue pens, or you can use the dots, the small dots, which are nice because they help a little better holding things that have a little bit more oomph to them. So the last two glittering techniques we're gonna do is I'm gonna take my glue pen and I'm just gonna add some of my glue pen and glitter to the paisley design on the top of my elephant. So what I'm gonna do though is I'm not gonna go over the white, I'm gonna go over some of the orange elements. And the cool thing is you don't even have to trace actual imaging. For instance, I could trace over a paisley, but then I can draw dots that aren't even really there, which is neat. So I'm gonna go ahead and just add a couple more so you can get the gist. Tap that off, and then you could see that adds just that little bit of sparkle. So here is the one that I went ahead and really went and did all through the orange, and it turned out really nice. So once you complete your elephant and unadhere your coffee filter, we are just gonna do a little final sparkling to our banner. So I'm gonna take my glue pen and I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna do some dots. If you want, you could do some flourishing. I'm doing little V's just to add that fun, really Moroccan color palette, sparkly. There's a lot going on in this card and I just love all the details in it. And whoever you send this to is gonna be really excited. So there we go. Okay, now the fun part. We get to assemble everything. Last but not least. Okay, I'm gonna put my copper jewel aside and we are going to assemble. So we've got the base of our card. Clear some of this stuff away. I'm gonna put a coffee filter down since my workspace is still a little sticky. So you've got your card base, and we have the 4" by 5 1/4 that we did our cool gilding and our beautiful carrot stick. So I'm gonna go ahead and place that down first, like so. Then I'm going to take the next step, which is this one here. Just kidding, it's this one. That was my sad little sample that I made. Well, it wasn't sad, but it had something else on the back, so you guys don't want to see that. Peel off my Terrific tape. And I'm going to go ahead and not stick that down yet because that is silly. It's these guys next. You know, if you guys were just here to point all this out to me, it would be so much more exciting. Okay, so next goes our awesome golden scales that we created. So I'm gonna lay that down. And this is my Terrific tape again. Now with the specialty paper, you definitely want a really good adhesive. And there we go. Now this guy. See, I love when I catch my beautiful, I know you guys love my mistakes. You just love it. You're like, yes, do it, Demo Donna. Get it all wrong, ha ha ha. All right, now I'm gonna take my little elephant and I stuck some dimensional adhesive on the back, a lot of it, because for some reason I thought I would want to sit here and peel all these backings off for you guys, because that's fun to watch. Okay. Last one. All right. And And now we are going to pop him down right about there. Make sure I have room for my flourishes. And his little tail and his trunk are not sticking on the outsides of the card. Peel the backing off here. I'm just gonna layer that right about there. No, I want it over a little bit more. Sorry. Right there. Take our amazing U. Add some Terrific tape. There we go, and I don't want it secure on the edges. I want it to pop up a little bit. And then our 3 flourishes with my, we're gonna go down there because I didn't leave myself much room. There we go. And the last one. There we go. Our beautiful Amazing You Elephant Paisley card. Thank you guys so much for watching and sticking it out, and thank you to all of our amazing Video Kit Club members. I hope you've enjoyed your goodies. Don't forget to go to our Sparkle and Sprinkle creative page where you get to post everything you've done with the kits, and there is a chance to win some Sparkle and Sprinkle money, so go check that out. I will put that in the comments below, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget you can become a member of our Video Kit Club and our multi-project club and receive additional savings on these fantastic kits. I hope you guys have a great week. Bye-bye.